Rejected by every man who ever looked her way, Clara Whitaker arrives at a lonely ranch with nothing left to offer but the quiet promise: I am not fit for any man, but I can love your children. In a home still bleeding from grief, three small hearts shut tight against more loss meet the one person who refuses to leave, even when the whole town demands she must. What begins as simple survival slowly becomes something miraculous, a fragile, defiant family rising from ashes, one tender moment at a time. Yet when powerful voices threaten to tear it all apart, Clara faces the ultimate test: stay and risk everything, or walk away to save the one she loves most. Before we dive into the story, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from, and enjoy the story. Clara Whitaker stood at the kitchen sink of the boarding house, hands deep in soapy water, when Mrs. Whitaker's voice cut through the quiet. Every girl your age has already left, Clara. Married, chosen, gone. Tell me, aren't you fit for any man? The words landed like a stone against old bruises. Clara's hands stilled. 2 years earlier, she had traveled 3 dusty days by train to meet a man who'd advertised for a wife. When she stepped onto the platform, he laughed sharp and cruel. You're not what I ordered, he'd said, refusing even to touch her bag. You're not fit for any man. She had taken the next train home, carrying the sentence like a scar. Now the matron waited, arms crossed, expecting surrender. Clara dried her hands slowly on her apron. No ma'am, she said, voice barely above a whisper. I suppose I'm not. Mrs. Whitaker smiled, satisfied. Then you'd best start looking for work. This house closes in 2 weeks. Clara stood alone in the dim kitchen, $17 to her name and nowhere to go. That night, as she passed the church bulletin board, a small desperate note caught her eye: widower. 3 children. I need help. Send a word. Her fingers trembled as she unpinned it. Within the hour, she sent a telegram and spent her last coins on a train ticket to Havenford. The train hissed to a stop in Havenford late Friday afternoon. Clara stepped onto the platform, small carpetbag in hand, heart hammering. A group of pretty, confident, laughing young women already waited near a wagon at the far end. They whispered about the desperate widower who needed help. A tall, work-worn man stood by the wagon, hat pulled low. 3 children huddled behind him, thin, quiet, too still for their ages. The women approached like they were granting a favor. The blonde spoke first. What are the wages, Mr. Caldwell? Room and board plus $10 a month. She laughed. $10 for 3 children? I'd need 20, my own room with a lock, and Sundays off. Another demanded a clothing stipend. A third eyed the children with disgust. Are they well behaved? I won't tolerate wild ones. Benjamin's jaw tightened. They're grieving. Their mother died 4 months ago. That's very sad, the blonde said flatly, but your offer isn't acceptable. Good day. They turned, laughing, leaving Benjamin standing defeated. The smallest girl, dark braid swinging, had silent tears on her cheeks. Clara's heart cracked open. Before she could think, she stepped forward. The last woman glanced back and sneered. What are you doing here? Clara ignored her and walked straight to Benjamin Caldwell. Mr. Caldwell, I'm Clara Whitaker. I sent you the telegram. He studied her plain dress, work-worn hands, nothing like the women who had just left. She braced for the familiar look of disappointment. It didn't come. The red-headed woman laughed. Oh, this will be good. You think he wants you? Look at yourself. Clara's face burned, shame rising like bile. But she forced herself to meet Benjamin's eyes. I am not fit for any man, she said, voice shaking. I've known that for a long time. The platform fell quiet. Even the mocking laughter stopped. Clara looked past Benjamin to the children. But I can love your children, she said, steadier now. I can care for them. I can make them feel safe. I can be what they need, even if I'm not what anyone wants. Benjamin stared at her for a long, painful moment. Then he asked the only question that mattered. Will you stay? Clara's breath caught. Yes, she whispered. I'll stay. Benjamin nodded once. He bent and lifted his youngest daughter, placing her gently in Clara's arms. The child, light as a bird, trembled against her. Clara held her carefully, one hand supporting her back, the other cradling her head. The little girl buried her face in Clara's shoulder and cried deep, gasping sobs that sounded held back for months. This is Grace, Benjamin said quietly, that she's 3. That's Lillian, 8, and Samuel, 5. Clara looked at each child, memorizing their faces. Lillian watched with guarded eyes. Samuel clung to his sister's hand. Hello, Clara said softly. The red-headed woman made a disgusted sound and stalked away. Benjamin picked up Clara's bag and gestured toward the wagon. It's an hour's ride to the ranch. The children haven't eaten since breakfast. Clara followed, Grace still in her arms. Lillian and Samuel climbed up silently. As the wagon rolled away, the ranch appeared over a hill under the dropping sun. Sturdy barn, solid house, but closer up the truth showed. Laundry piled on the porch, overgrown garden, loose chickens. The ranch was dying slowly. It's not much, Benjamin said. I haven't had time. It's not bad, Clara replied. It's grief. Inside, the house was chaos, dishes stacked, dust thick, baby things scattered. Yet the bones were good, strong wood, big windows, a stone fireplace. Benjamin showed Clara to a small room off the kitchen. It was the hired hand's. It has a lock inside. Thank you. Lillian stood in the doorway, watching. You won't stay, she said flatly. Everyone leaves. Clara knelt. I'm not everyone. That's what the last one said. How many since Mama died? 5, Benjamin said quietly. In 4 months. Clara met Lillian's eyes. I understand if you don't believe me yet. But I'm here now, and I'm staying. You don't have to trust me. Just let me try. Lillian stared, then turned and walked away. That night, after the children were in bed, Clara faced the mountain of dishes. She rolled up her sleeves and began. An hour later, Benjamin came in from the barn and stopped, staring at the clean counters, swept floor, drying dishes. You didn't have to do that. I know. But I need to work. It's the only thing that keeps me from thinking. Benjamin picked up a towel and dried beside her in silence. When the kitchen gleamed, Benjamin made coffee and set a cup before Clara without asking. They sat in the dark house as night fell outside. Grace slept near the fireplace. Lillian and Samuel were upstairs. For the first time since Eliza died, the house didn't feel empty. For the first time since her own baby had been lost, Clara felt she might belong somewhere. They spoke little, but the silence was comfortable. Benjamin glanced at her capable hands, the way she had already begun to mend the broken places. Clara felt the first fragile thread of hope. Outside, the ranch settled into the evening quiet. Inside, 4 broken people began, slowly, to heal. 2 weeks passed. Grace stopped flinching when Clara reached for her. Samuel began trailing Clara around the kitchen, watching her work with wide, curious eyes. But Lillian kept her distance, walls high and unyielding. She dressed herself even when buttons went crooked, made her own breakfast even when porridge burned, and cared for her siblings as though Clara weren't there. One morning Clara found Lillian in the chicken coop, struggling to fix a broken nesting box. The girl's small hands could barely hold the hammer. She swung, missed, and hit her thumb. She gasped but refused to cry. I can help, Clara offered. I don't need help. Clara knelt beside her. Your mama taught you to take care of things, didn't she? Lillian's face hardened. Don't talk about my mama. She taught you well. You're strong and capable. I have to be. Everyone leaves. Clara spoke softly. You're right. You take beautiful care of them. But you're 8 years old, Lillian. You shouldn't carry everything alone. I'm the oldest. It's my job. What if someone helped carry the weight with you? Lillian's eyes were too old. Why would you? Because you need it. And I'm here. Lillian turned back to the box, hands shaking. I don't know how to fix this. Then quieter. Will you teach me how Samuel likes his eggs? I keep getting them wrong. Clara smiled. You know them better than anyone. I need your help to care for them properly. Something shifted in Lillian's face. He likes them scrambled, not too wet. I'll show you. For the first time, Lillian smiled small, uncertain but real. That afternoon Lillian found Clara in the kitchen. Grace needs her hair braided for bedtime. She won't sleep if it's loose. Mama always did it. Will you let me show you how she did it? Clara nodded. They sat on the porch, Grace between them. Lillian's small fingers guided Clara's through the familiar pattern. Mama sang while she braided, Lillian whispered. What did she sing? Lillian began a soft lullaby about stars and sleep. Her voice broke. Clara hummed when she didn't know the words. Lillian joined back in, stronger. When the braid was done, Grace hugged Clara, then hesitantly hugged Lillian. I miss Mama, Grace said. Me too, Lillian whispered. Samuel appeared in the doorway. Can we miss Mama and love Miss Clara at the same time? Lillian looked at Clara, then back at her brother. Yes, she said finally. I think we can. That night, after bedtime, a soft knock sounded on Clara's door. Lillian stood there, eyes red. I'm tired of being strong all the time. Clara opened her arms. Lillian collapsed into them, sobbing like the child she truly was. Clara held her, rocked her, let her cry for Eliza and the childhood she had sacrificed. Then let me be strong for both of us, Clara whispered. Benjamin watched these changes from a distance, Clara teaching Samuel letters, planting with Lillian, rocking Grace to sleep. The house began to breathe again. One evening Lillian brought schoolwork to the table. I have to draw my family for class. Benjamin sat awkwardly. I'll help. His house looked like a collapsed barn. The children giggled. Even Benjamin smiled. Your turn, Miss Clara, Lillian said. Clara drew carefully, the house for figures on the porch Lillian, Samuel, Grace, Benjamin flowers in the garden, chickens in the yard. It's perfect, Lillian breathed. Benjamin looked at the drawing, at Clara's hands, at the laughter she had brought back. Their eyes met across the table. You're good at this, he said quietly. All of it. Clara flushed. It's just a drawing. I meant everything. Thomas Samuel spilled ink. Laughter and rags followed, the mess cleaned together. Later, Benjamin found Clara on the porch. They're different now. Lighter. Like children again. They just needed someone to let them be. You did that. I couldn't. You kept them alive. That's everything. Benjamin sat beside her, close enough to feel his warmth. You gave them hope. They sat in silence, watching stars appear, shoulders almost touching. The next Sunday, the schoolteacher stopped Clara after church. Lillian asked if you'd come to the school on Tuesday. Parents usually attend. Clara hesitated. I'm not her mother. You're the one she wants there. Tuesday, Clara walked to the one-room schoolhouse with Benjamin. Lillian beamed when she saw them. Miss Adelaide praised Lillian openly. She's thriving, confident, and joyful. She's blooming because of the woman who comes with her. Outside, the school trustee, Mr. Harlan, stopped Benjamin. That woman isn't the child's mother. The arrangement isn't proper. People are talking. Benjamin's jaw tightened. My children are fed, clothed, loved, thriving. I don't care what people say. You should, Mr. Harlan warned. The school board doesn't look kindly on improper situations. Clara stood very still. I should go. No, Benjamin said firmly. You're not leaving because of small-minded men. I'm endangering your children's reputation. You're saving their lives. Benjamin looked at the schoolhouse, where Lillian waved from the window. They need you. We all do. The words hung heavy, unspoken meaning thick between them. Benjamin still drowned in grief. He worked to exhaustion, spoke of meals and bedtimes but never Eliza, flinched when Grace called Papa, in the night. One evening Samuel asked, Papa, did Mama like flowers? Benjamin's face went blank. Eat your supper. But did she? That's enough. Samuel's face fell. After bedtime, Clara found Benjamin in the barn, repairing a harness that didn't need fixing. You can't shut them out when they ask about her. I don't know what to say. Say yes, she loved flowers. Say her name, Benjamin. Say Eliza. He flinched. Talking about her makes it final. It already is final. But your children are learning that love means silence and loss. Benjamin's shoulders shook. What if I start talking and can't stop breaking? Then you break, and we'll be there to help you heal. The next Sunday after church, Benjamin took the children to Eliza's grave for the first time since the funeral. Clara stayed back, giving them space. She watched Benjamin kneel, cry, watched Lillian wrap arms around her father's neck, Samuel touch the headstone, Grace place dandelions. When they returned, Samuel's first words were, Mama liked flowers. Papa said so. That evening Benjamin sat with them before bed. Your mama sang you a song about mockingbirds. Do you remember? Lillian's face lit up. They sang together, Benjamin's voice cracking, Lillian strong, Samuel humming, Grace asleep in Clara's lap. Afterwards, Lillian asked, "Can we talk about Mama without you getting sad?" "I'll always get sad. But yes, we can talk. I won't let you forget her voice." Days found rhythm. Clara and Benjamin worked side by side, movements synchronized. One morning in the garden, planting vegetables, their hands met in the soil. Neither pulled away. "You're good at this," Benjamin said. "Being here. Being part of this." Their eyes met. Clara's heart pounded. Samuel's voice broke the moment. "Miss Clara, come see what I found." That afternoon Clara taught the children to make bread. Lillian kneaded fiercely. Samuel floured everything. Grace ate dough raw. Benjamin watched from the doorway, smiling. "This house hasn't felt this alive in a long time," he said. "It's them. They're coming back. It's you. You brought life back." Later, putting Grace down for her nap, the little girl asked, "Will you be my mama now?" Clara's breath caught. "Your mama is in heaven. I can't replace her. But can you be my mama too?" Lillian says people can have two, one in heaven, one here. Clara's eyes burned. "If that's what you want." "It is." Grace yawned. "I love you, Mama Clara." The words cracked Clara open. That evening she told Benjamin. He was quiet, then said, "Eliza would have liked you. She would have loved how you care for them. How do you see me?" Clara flushed. "Benjamin, I know this is complicated. You're becoming necessary to all of us." Trouble came on a Tuesday morning. Clara was hanging laundry when she saw the sheriff and a stern man in black riding up. Benjamin came from the barn. "Can I help you, Sheriff? This is Judge Harlan from the county seat. We've received a complaint about the welfare of your children." "What complaint?" "That an unmarried woman of questionable character is living here, acting as mother. The county has moral concerns." The judge dismounted. "We're here to assess. I'll need to speak with the children separately." Benjamin stepped forward. "No. You're not interrogating them. I can do this cooperatively or return with deputies." Clara touched Benjamin's arm. "It's all right. They'll tell the truth." The judge questioned Lillian first. Clara heard her voice waver under harsh questions about sleeping arrangements and inappropriate affection. Samuel was next, small and uncertain. Grace cried when her turn came, reaching for Clara, but she couldn't go to her. Finally the judge inspected the house's clean kitchen, well-fed children, and tidy beds. "They are physically cared for," he said. "But the moral situation is unacceptable. Miss Whitaker has 48 hours to leave. If she remains, the children will be removed to the church orphanage." Clara felt the world tilt. Benjamin's voice was dangerous. "You can't do that." "I can and will." "Then I'll marry her today." Too late. The record is established. Even marriage won't erase months of impropriety. That night Clara packed her small bag. Benjamin found her. "What are you doing?" "Saving your children." "By leaving them?" "By keeping them out of an orphanage. If I leave, the judge has no reason to take them. And if you stay, we fight." "We can't fight the county." Benjamin caught her hand. "I love you. My children love you. You're ours." Clara's tears fell. "That's why I have to go. Because I love you too much to let you lose everything." She pulled free and kept packing. Before dawn Clara slipped toward the door. Small footsteps stopped her. Lillian stood at the stairs. "You're leaving." "I have to. I promised to protect you." Lillian's scream woke the house. Samuel and Grace appeared. They threw themselves at Clara, sobbing, clinging. "Don't go, Mama Clara." Grace wailed. "Please stay," Samuel begged. Lillian just held on, shaking. Benjamin watched his children's hearts break. "There has to be another way." Clara looked at them and her family. "There is," she whispered. "We fight." Benjamin called an emergency town meeting after Sunday church. The church filled some concerned, many curious. Judge Harlan stated the complaint was unmarried women, improper arrangement, and moral corruption. Benjamin stood. "My children were dying of grief when Clara came. She taught Lillian to be a child again, Samuel to laugh, Grace to trust. She taught me to father grieving children. Lillian stood. Miss Clara didn't try to replace Mama. She just loved me. She let me miss Mama and love her too. Voices rose: teacher, old boarding house matron, others speaking for Clara. Clara stood last. 2 years ago, a man said I wasn't fit for any man. I believed him. But these children chose me. Their love made me whole. The judge's certainty cracked. The complaint is dismissed. But the arrangement remains improper. Marry properly, or the concern lingers. The preacher stood. I can perform the ceremony now. Benjamin took Clara's hands. This isn't how anyone dreams of a proposal in front of town with a judge ordering it. But I choose you, Clara. My children chose you first, and I choose you now, because you taught us to live again. Clara's tears fell. Yes. I choose all of you. The simple ceremony ended with applause as Benjamin kissed his bride. The children rushed forward, wrapping around them. We're a family now, Lillian said. We always were, Clara whispered. We just made it official. 6 months later, Clara planted spring vegetables in the garden, Lillian chattering beside her, Samuel chasing chickens, Grace napping in the shade. Benjamin wrapped arms around Clara from behind. Happy? He asked. I never knew I could be. Neither did I. That evening on the porch, watching stars, Clara told them the story again, how she came with nowhere else to go, and stayed because they loved her first. She was no longer the woman who believed she wasn't fit for any man. She was exactly right for this man, these children, this life built on love, presence, and daily choosing. Forever.